I hope you enjoyed the splash. At least I didn't make you watch the bison walk past me in Yellowstone. So why am I here? I decided I'm going to use a 2016 interview that I did with the New York Times journalist and show some of the recordings from that interview that could possibly help other searchers while they while away the winter hours like I am. Maybe something that you see or something I say will turn the light bulb off in your head. Turn it on. Cut. I don't have a professional studio in my home like some of the YouTubers. I don't even have a classroom and a whiteboard like Michael for his learning curve videos. All I have is my map room, my wisdom of being boots on the ground 150 times or whatever. And what I really want to share are some of the clips from this recording that took place in 2016. Some of the topics that I hope to cover in this series of videos will be about the poem and the Thrill of the Chase book. In this interview, Forrest actually gives a couple examples of metaphors that he used in the book pertaining to events in his life. He talks about the poem, how people make it so complex, more than it needs to be. He talks about the 200-footer and why they didn't find the treasure chest. And one of the most interesting things that I found is when he talked about how he uses subterfuge in interviews. For myself, I actually found that one of the most interesting things of all when you're an actual boots on the ground treasure hunter. This series of videos I will try to keep short. I will try to make them funny. I will try to make them at least interesting. And if nothing more, I hope I entertain you and bring a smile to your face. I'm going to call these videos Cynthia's Winter Games 2020. Let the search season begin. This is the first of the videos in my series called the Winter Games 2020. Today I want to talk about the page 99 secret treasure map. A week or so ago I did a blog article on this, and I promised a few people that I would also do a video. So I'm going to start this by giving a history of the page 99 map, and then from there discuss how I fell into this rabbit hole back in the end of 2015, early 2016, and I spent about 15 trips to the Santa Cruz Lake area because I was so sure that my area fit the page 99 map. When I wrote my book in 2017, I even talked about the how this is such a rabbit hole and has been for many years previously to many of us. So here's the page 99 full illustration of Diggin Gypsy's secret treasure map. And I'm going to show this in a minute, but in the meantime, she has it outlined where this is an M. You can see an M and an A and a P, and that confirmed that Forrest is saying this is a map. And then she's going to flip it over upside down, and that's where she's going to see Forrest walking with his sunglasses and his straw hat, carrying a treasure chest. And they're also then right in here is the rectangle that when you flip this map over, it looks like it says fly Taos, and that those words are preceded by this little propeller symbol. This is a screen capture from the pages on Mindy's website back in the fall of 2015. At the top of the page, Diggin Gypsy wrote, "You need the right map. The map on page 99 is the good map. It's the right map. How do I know what I discovered is the map? Well, for one, it says so." Scrolling down is where it says fly Taos. Further down the page, Diggin Gypsy wrote, "I also remembered a part in the book where Forrest said he melded the memories of his experience in Vietnam with his favorite spot. This map represents the melding of those two spots. In the next picture, you see Forrest wearing hat and sunglasses, walking to his secret spot with something, maybe the treasure, in his hand." The map says fly Taos. So I drew a line from the airplane symbol at Santa Fe Airport to the airplane symbol at the Taos Airport. Almost in the middle between the Santa Fe Airport and the Taos Airport, the symbol for the Santa Cruz Lake Recreation Area is dead on that line. In the foreword of $17 a square inch, Forrest wrote, "We spent a lot of time together, sometimes with him as co-pilot in my plane as we flew at treetop level to Taos or Oklahoma City." He was referring to his friend Eric Sloan. In my mind, the words fly Taos confirmed that I had the right spot. I started searching the Santa Cruz Lake area fall of 2015, and over the next 5 or 6 months actually made at least 15 separate trips to that area. In June of 2016, the New York Times came to Santa Fe and contacted Forrest about doing a story about him and a searcher. He recommended that they contact me. I ended up taking the journalist and her photographer to my area. I don't want to make this video specifically about my solution to the poem, but in my book, I actually dedicated like 24 pages of this search area in my book because at the time I thought it was a really good solve. Anyway, what I want to share next with the viewer is the interview that this New York Times journalist did with Forrest at his home the day after I took her and her photographer to my area.
Cynthia used that yesterday. She was asking me, let's try to find the blaze, and here's what I think the blaze is. And she said, look around, and we looked around. I didn't find anything that seemed out of place or different or that struck me as being the blaze.
I'm going to have to talk to Cynthia because why would you, if you have clues to a solution, why would you start in the middle instead of at the first one?
Well, she took us through the whole process. She took us to stop where the warm waters halt. That's where she thinks the first clue is.
And where was it?
It was at the confluence of the Medio and Frijoles rivers, I think, or creeks, into the Santa Cruz River. There's a bridge right there. That's where she thinks the warm waters, because those are shallow rivers.
Did you ask her to show you the warm water?
No, I didn't touch the water. But I...
See there? She wanted to find the place, so she manufactured a place where the warm waters halt. There's no warm water under that bridge, I promise you. But she backed it in. You see how that works? I could take you out in my yard and show you 50 blazes. But it's not going to help you find a treasure because you don't know where warm water halts. You cannot back it in. It doesn't work like that.
So, in other words, if you don't find if you don't start right, you're never going to get there.
If you're going to go to the grocery store, what's the first thing you do?
I get a shopping cart.
Huh?
I get a shopping cart.
No. You go get in your car.
Right, true, yes.
You see, that's a good example of you looking for the blaze instead of where warm water halts. You got to get in your car to...
But what if you think that you found where the warm waters halt?
Therein lies the puzzle. And I rest my case again. Find where warm water halts and let that take you to the puzzle, because I can show you millions of blazes.
At February 2016, my friend Frank actually asked Forrest about the illustration on page 99. Forrest said he did not draw it. It was drawn by an old war correspondent. I shared this information on Dale's blog shortly after so that everyone would know that Forrest said he did not draw this map. But what if he added to it? What if he wrote the words fly Taos? And later in 2016, the bombshell hit. Diggin Gypsy finally posted an email from Forrest to her and Mindy that the drawing is not a map of any kind. He did not draw it. End of story. I hope you enjoyed this video, and now most of you can put the page 99 secret treasure map to rest. Forrest did not draw it. Forrest did not add to it. Stay tuned for more of my 2020 Winter Games, where I play more of this same New York Times recording from 2016, with the next video talking about Forrest's use of subterfuge when he conducts his interviews.